We begin with a question that defines the human condition. Is life lived in safety but without freedom a life at all? For 100 years, the remnants of humanity believed they were the last sparks of life in a world consumed by monsters. They lived within three concentric circles of stone: Wall Maria, Wall Rose, and Wall Sheena. To the common citizen, these walls were divine protection. To the government, they were a tool of control. But to a young boy named Aaron Yeager, they were a personal insult. Alongside his adoptive sister Mikasa and his brilliant but physically frail friend Armin, Aaron looked at the sky and saw a prison. Armin possessed an illegal book, a forbidden relic of the outside world, that spoke of the great sea of salt, lands made of ice, and water that burned like fire. These dreams were shattered in the year 845. The colossal titan didn't just break the gate, it broke the laws of nature. It was 60 meters tall, 10 meters higher than the walls themselves. In the chaos that followed, the armored titan smashed through the inner gate of Shiganshina, rendering Wall Maria useless. This wasn't just a military defeat, it was a harvest. Aaron watched from a distance as a titan with a permanent sickening smile lifted his mother, Carla, from the ruins of their home. He watched her legs kick in the air before the titan bit her in half. In that moment, the boy who wanted to see the sea died. A monster of pure vengeance was born. He didn't just want to survive, he wanted to exterminate every titan from the face of the earth. Little did he know he would eventually extend that goal to humanity itself. 5 years of grueling training followed. Aaron and his friends joined the 104th Cadet Corps, a melting pot of refugees and idealists. Here, we meet the characters who will determine the fate of the world. Rainer Brown, Bertold Hoover, Annie Leonhardt, Sasha Browse, Connie Springer, and John Kirstein. Just as they graduate, the colossal titan returns. It appears in a flash of lightning at Trust, as if it were a ghost haunting Aaron's past. This is where the story subverts everything. In a frantic attempt to save Armin from being swallowed, Aaron is bitten in half and consumed. For 20 minutes of screen time, the protagonist is dead. But from the stomach of a monster, a new power awakens. A rogue titan emerges. Not a mindless beast, but a warrior with a martial arts style and a burning rage. When Aaron emerges from the nape of this attacked titan, the world changes. The military is terrified. They see a weapon or a threat. Commander Erwin Smith of the Survey Corps sees the utility. He gambles the lives of his men to allow Aaron to lift a massive boulder and seal the Trust Gate. It is humanity's first victory, but it comes at a staggering cost of thousands of lives. Aaron is placed under the custody of Captain Levi Ackerman, humanity's strongest soldier, and the Special Operations Squad. The wings of freedom are finally ready to fly, but they are flying into a storm of betrayal. The 57th Expedition is the Survey Corps' first attempt to reach the basement in Shiganshina. The basement was locked by Aaron's dad, and it holds all the answers and the truth about the Titans. It is a disaster of epic proportions. An intelligent female Titan capable of hardening her skin and summoning other Titans with a scream hunts the scouts with terrifying precision. She wipes out Levi's elite squad, soldiers who had hundreds of Titan kills, in seconds. Erwin Smith, however, is a master of the long game. He realizes the female Titan isn't just a monster, she is a human spy from within the 104th Cadet Corps. Based on Armin's deduction, they narrow down the suspect down to Annie Leonhardt. The trap is set in the Stohis district, the heart of the capital. Armin lures Annie into a tunnel, but she realizes the ruse. Her laugh in that tunnel is one of the most chilling sounds in the series, a mix of relief and madness. The ensuing battle kills hundreds of civilians. It is the first time the people of the walls see that their protectors are just as dangerous as the monsters. Eren finally defeats Annie, but before they can interrogate her, she encases herself in an indestructible crystal. She leaves them with zero answers, a destroyed city, and a terrifying discovery. A piece of the wall falls away, revealing a colossal titan inside. The truth is starting to leak. The walls were built by titans for titans, and perhaps to keep humanity as cattle for a future slaughter. We move into the dark heart of the mystery. Titans are now moving at night, and Utgard Castle becomes a site of a desperate last stand. We see the secret of Ymir, a girl who lived a life for 60 years just to have a second chance at life. But the true climax occurs on a quiet afternoon atop Wall Rose. Reiner Brown, his mind fractured by the guilt of his actions, casually reveals the truth to Eren. I'm the armored titan and he's the colossal titan. It is the most subversive moment in television history. There's no epic music, only the wind whistling. The betrayal leads to a frantic chase where Eren discovers the coordinates, the power to control all titans. Back home, the Survey Corps is framed for murder. The story shifts from a monster hunt to a political thriller. Levi goes to war with his mentor, Kenny the Ripper. We learn the history of the Ackerman bloodline. They were a failed experiment to create super soldiers for the king. Historia Race, the true heir to the throne, is forced to choose. Does she become a titan and eat Eren to satisfy her father's cult-like religion, or does she choose herself? She chooses herself, which makes her father break down and consume the special fluid that turns humans into titans. He is turned into a titan that closely resembles the colossal titan, but cannot walk, only crawl with his face on the ground. Historia and the squad prevent the titan from reaching the wall, killing her father, and takes the crown. And for the first time in a century, the people of the walls have a leader who doesn't rule through lies. Shiganshina, the return to where it all began. The battle for Wall Maria is a slaughterhouse. Erwin Smith leads a suicide charge against the Beast Titan, Zekiega, to buy Levi enough time for a single strike. Erwin dies so that humanity can know the truth. Armin is burnt to a crisp by the colossal titan's steam, only to be revived by the serum, inheriting the power of the colossal titan from a defeated Bertold. Eren finally enters his father's basement. He finds a drawer with a hidden compartment. Inside is a photograph. This is the moment the world expands. Humanity has not perished. Paradis is an island, a penal colony. The people in the walls are Eldians, the subjects of Ymir, and the rest of the world, led by the Marleyan Empire, views them as demons who must be exterminated. Titans weren't monsters, they were Eldian restorationists formed by Marley and sent to the island as a life sentence. 1 year later, the scouts reach the sea. Armin sees the salt water he always dreamed of, but Eren looks across the water and sees enemies. If we kill everyone over there, will we finally be free? The hero has become the harbinger of the end. We jump 4 years. The perspective flips. We see Marley, we see Gabi and Falco, children trained to hate their own race. Eren has infiltrated Marley alone. He meets his half-brother, Zeke, and they hatch a plan. The raid on Liberio is a massacre that mirrors the fall of Shiganshina. Eren eats the Warhammer Titan and declares war on the entire world. Sasha, the heart of the group, is killed by Gabi. The 104th Cadet Corps is broken. Eren returns to Paradis as a rogue. He forms the Jaegerists and overthrows the military. He meets Zeke in the past, a timeless dimension where all Eldians are connected. Here, we see the origin of Ymir Fritz. She wasn't a goddess, she was a traumatized slave who was hunted for sport and found a cosmic power. Even as a god, she remained a slave to the royal bloodline. Eren is the first person in 2,000 years to treat her as a human. You aren't a god, you aren't a slave, you're just a person. The walls crumble, the rumbling begins. Tens of millions of colossal titans begin a march that will trample 80% of all human life on Earth into dust. Eren has chosen the ultimate us versus them solution. The final battle takes place on the back of the Fountain Titan, a skeletal beast kilometers long. The Alliance, a group of former enemies including Mikasa, Armin, Levi, and Reiner, launches a desperate assault. Levi finally kills Zeke, ending the Rumbling's connection, but the source of all living matter continues to fight. Mikasa enters the mouth of the Titan. She sees a vision, a long dream, of a life where she and Eren ran away together to live in a cabin in the woods. She realizes she must kill the person she loves most to save what's left of the world. She beheads Eren and kisses him goodbye. The Titan power vanishes, the curse is lifted. In his final conversation with Armin in the Paths, Eren reveals that he did it all to make his friends the heroes who saved humanity. He was a slave to freedom, unable to change the future he saw. Years pass, Shiganshina becomes a modern city, then is destroyed by a war again. A boy and a dog find a tree that looks exactly like the one Ymir found. The story ends where it all began. The cycle of hatred doesn't end, it simply resets. Nature is cruel, but it is also beautiful. Thanks for watching this journey. Like, subscribe, and tell me, was Eren right or was he wrong? And I'll see you in the next one.